Yo, what's going on, guys? Sin City Guns here. I have an updated range report and review on the new 9mm Wilson Combat here. So I got this out to the range yesterday, and I did the Wilson Combat recommended break-in of 200 rounds of 124 grain. And then I put about 250 rounds of 124 grain through it, and then I put another about 250 rounds of 115 grain. And I had absolutely zero issues. So I had no failure to feeds, no failure to ejects. It ran absolutely perfect. However, I did have an issue with one of the magazines. I got 4 mags with this. I got 2 of the Wilson Combat ones, and I got 2 Vickers ones. And one of the Wilson Combat mags has to actually go back because it's consistently on the last round not locking the slide back the way it's supposed to. And I was looking at it and I couldn't see anything bent. It seemed like it had all the right proportions and dimensions and everything, but there's just something not right. The spring has a good tension on it, but for whatever reason, it's just not locking back. And it happened about 9 or 10 times with that one magazine. And it didn't happen with any of the other ones. So aside from a bad magazine, I had absolutely zero issues with this gun. 500 rounds through it, and it performed flawlessly. So a couple of things I noticed about this. The weight really soaks up the recoil very well. It's very manageable. I have some video that I'll roll in at the end of this video of me shooting it kind of from the side profile so you could see the recoil. Very smooth. The trigger is exceptional on this. I really like it. I think I like this better than the trigger on my 45 Wilson. Nice and light.
So first impressions, it's definitely very, very smooth. The recoil is very, very manageable. Trigger feels good. Grips feel good. Nice and tight. Seems like it shoots pretty flat as well. I'll have to go back and review this footage. But first impressions is very smooth. I expect it to kick a little bit more just because I'm so used to shooting.
This thing is just perfect. Very, very manageable. I've actually never shot, I take that back. I've shot one single stack 9mm Wilson before. Only one magazine through it, and it was a couple of years ago. So very pleased with it. Very, very pleased with it. Couple of things I really like. Love the extended mag release. Very quick change in mags. I have some video that I'll roll in of me doing a couple of mag changing drills. Love, love, love the extended slide stop. That's one of my biggest complaints about my other Wilson. And I know I've had tons of comments from people, you know, you can train to come in with your offhand and hit the slide release and things like that. I just prefer to slam that magazine home and have my thumb already on it and just hit that slide release, and it gets me back on target a lot quicker. So that's just my preference. So really glad that I got both of those on this gun. I'm definitely going to be shooting this in IDPA, so I'm looking forward to that, running it into some competitions. One of the other things that I noticed is that for whatever reason, the Blade Tech holster, outside the waistband Blade Tech that I run with my other Wilson Combat, this one did not fit. It fit, but I had to loosen up the holster considerably. I had to loosen up the retention on it. So I don't know why this is the exact same dimensions, but for whatever reason, this profile is a little thicker. I'm thinking maybe my other Wilson is just a little bit more worn, and maybe that's why. I don't know if it's because of this French border or if it's because of the serrated top here. But for whatever reason, this was tight going into that Blade Tech holster. I was able to jam it in there. but I actually couldn't get it out. Definitely wouldn't be reliable for a draw. So I had to loosen up that holster quite a bit. But aside from that, this thing just ran completely as expected. So if you guys are thinking about picking up a Wilson, I would not hesitate at all. If you're trying to decide between 9mm and 45, obviously that's a preference, but I can speak from experience. They both perform flawlessly. I know sometimes these 9mm 1911s can be a little finicky, but aside from that one bad magazine, I did not have one issue with this with 500 rounds.
So that's about, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. So it's about 15 or so yards, and not shooting terribly fast, but as you can see, I dropped one. There's one right there, but everything else center mass.
After I get a chance to shoot it in a few matches, and after I get a chance to get a few thousand more rounds through it, I'll do another update on it. We'll talk about reliability and things like that. But so far, first 500 rounds went through without a hitch, aside from that one bad Wilson Combat mag that's going to be going back to Wilson. But other than that, it was a really good day at the range. So I'll go ahead and I'll roll in some of that video of me at the range. And like always, please comment, and I'll do my best to answer all of your questions or comments. I really like reading them. And thanks you guys for watching. Sin City Guns, you guys shoot straight.